You know what I like even more than the big words to get an ego boost in a public place? When somebody catches me doing something like athletically amazing. You know, like those random moments of greatness. Yeah. You ever like knock your hat off your head or something? You like catch it behind your back and somebody sees it? What a rush. What a rush. I had one of those moments when I was flying in here a week ago. I was at the airport. I had to chug my water before I went through security. Right? Full chug, like no water left in it. I threw it into a recycle bin from like 12 feet away. No water, so there was no weight. Like this required a lot of precision, you know what I mean? Threw it right into the recycle bin. Didn't even like bounce around, like swish. And there were like 10 people in line who saw the whole thing go down. And I don't want to make up details like they started clapping or something like that. But they wanted to. They wanted to. I could see a couple people even brought their hands up and they're like, we're in an airport, let's relax here. But they saw my moment of greatness, man. What a rush. I love those moments. It's got to be accidental, though. You can't tell people you're about to do something amazing. You know, these people who are like, hey, watch this. Watch this. Whenever somebody says, hey, watch this, I'm like, I hope you fail so bad right now. One time my buddy was like, hey, watch this. And he had a peanut M&M. And he threw it like 10 feet in the air, opened his mouth. The M&M came down, hit his front tooth, broke his tooth in half. Oh my God, it was incredible. I was like, thank you so much for telling me to watch that. I needed that. No, it's got to be accidental. That's what makes it amazing. The random moment of greatness. I was at this party. Dude had a backpack on. He turned around. His backpack knocked this full bottle of red wine off this table. I was just watching it fall. And then right before it hit the ground, it was like a half an inch away, I just like reacted and I caught it. And I felt like God in this moment. And I looked up to see if he noticed, but he was still turned around. So I was like, shit. So I started looking around the party to see if anybody else noticed. Nobody's looking. I'm like, are you kidding me? There's like 25 people in this party right now. What the? I'm starting to get that sinking feeling of unrecognized greatness, you know? Finally, through like a maze of people in the far corner of the room, I see this girl. She's trying to get my attention too. From the far corner of the room, we locked eyes, and she was like, nice cat. Thumbs up. Oh my God. Oh, man, that was 8 years ago. I still think about it every day. Every single day. That woman's my wife now. No, that's not true, but we did have sex that night. I saw a guy one time almost drop his phone into the Grand Canyon. I was like standing like 3 or 4 feet from the edge. This guy was a little bit down with me, also standing close to the edge, trying to take a picture. Phone fumbled out of his hand, and before it fell into the Grand Canyon, he grabbed it. And he was amped, right? Like right away, he looked around. And here's the thing about these great moments. I don't need to be the one doing it. It's not an ego thing. It's a community thing. I like even being on the other side of it, where I'm able to witness somebody else's greatness. Man, that's a bond. This guy right away caught his phone. He looked around to see if anybody noticed. And who was the lucky son of a gun that locked eyes with him? This guy right here. He looked over at me and I was able to give him the thumbs up, like, oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah. Oh my God. That's a bond that will never be broken, man. We write twice a month. It's crazy. These kids are growing up so fast. Because I know how sad he would have been if nobody had seen it. You know those? You ever do something incredible when you're home alone? Those are probably my darkest hours. When you do something amazing and you know nobody's ever gonna see it. Because you can't like call anybody either. Like if you like open your kitchen cupboard and like 2 glasses fall out or something, you catch them both. That's like an incredible moment, but you can't like call your friend like, dude, guess what? I opened the cupboard and 2 glasses fell out and I caught them both. You gotta stop calling me, man. Not right. No, you're alone with it. That's your burden to bear. I slipped in a hotel shower one time. It was my fault. I was soaping off. Soap slipped out of my hand, so I turned to grab it. I turned too quick, and I was just airborne. I slipped, like full-on horizontal. I thought I was dead. I started flailing, screaming. I don't know. I blacked out. My hand miraculously grabbed onto one of those metal bars that are sometimes in the shower for this exact situation, I believe. grabbed onto it, completely twisted me around. I ended up landing on one knee. I couldn't even believe I was alive. I was like, what the fuck? It was the greatest moment of my life. Like, I knew immediately. But then I look behind me, I'm like, no way. In the air, the soap is still falling. With my free hand, I reach back, caught the soap, water just pouring down on me like a Greek god. And I knew it was the greatest moment of my life. Nothing would ever top it. And the euphoria was so intense. And then I realized nobody would ever see it. And the wave of sadness that came over me, man. I've never felt anything that dark. It was insane. And it was in that moment when I realized we need government surveillance everywhere. Too many amazing moments are being lost to history. We got cameras, let's use them, you know? There should just be an Instagram account called Moments of Greatness. Just constantly, every time I do something amazing, I want to be able to be like, whoa! Yo, tag me in that. And my followers. Make sure to blur out my junk. The kids need to see this too.